Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Eloquent English Enterprise. I have been away, I guess, for about a week, but here I am back with you all today. It's very difficult to keep away from you all. It's always very heartening to talk to all of you and then get some very good and encouraging comments. So today, viewers, I'm here not to discuss anything about English, but to talk about a topic which I also heard of very recently, and this is social fatigue. Now, we've all heard of physical fatigue, emotional fatigue, but social fatigue. Can we really get tired of socializing? Yes, that's true. We can. So, to understand this term, because we may not be aware of it, we may be experiencing it, but probably we are not aware. So, to discuss this in the right perspective, I'll start my sharing my screen. There's a small presentation which I think will be able to make you all understand the thing in the right perspective. So let's see if I'm able to do it uh, because I am very non-technical and it's difficult for me to share my screen also, but I'll try nevertheless. Here we are. So this is social fatigue. We can see two very fatigued individuals, but this is not physical fatigue. It is a very different kind of problem which they are going through. Again, I have to stop this and restart, sorry. So what is social fatigue? Social fatigue, as we can see here, it sometimes is referred to as introvert burnout. Like, but it's very different for everyone. We keep suffering inside. We do not share it with anyone because we all have distinct personalities and behaviors. So this social burnout can appear in different people in a different manner. So typically, social fatigue will occur when a person has socialized to a point where it's just simply unable for him or her to continue with this. So now more about it. It can be a result of, it could be a response to emotional and physical overstimulation in the society, and it leaves you feeling very high and dry. You may feel drained, you may feel exhausted. It also it can be seen in the form of a lot of physical tiredness, stress, anger, and irritability. It feels as if you want to hit your head on a wall. So this is something not very healthy, and you may feel as if you don't have the energy to get out of bed also, but still you have to go and attend certain social functions or meetings or something, and you don't feel like doing it actually. So this is not a very healthy sign at all. The signs which show that you are experiencing social exhaustion. Firstly, you are really, really tired. You're bone tired, as we say. So if you feel you are mentally, physically, and emotionally drained, you have absolutely no energy left, despite maybe having good hours of sleep. The second is you feel a lot of stress. And this stress can get triggered by even the smallest of stimuli. It could be a simple situation, but you get easily frustrated. Like somebody says, would you have tea? And then you just simply burst. You say, no, who asked you for tea? Why are you after my life? So even a small little, very friendly thing might trigger off this kind of response from you. You feel anxious. There's a lot of anxiety. Maybe this happens because you feel that you have to leave your personal space. Maybe you're comfortable in your room, but you're not in a mood to go out. So that fear of leaving your private space, your own personal space, you're not able to take it anymore. So it sort of, gets into you, like you want to skip certain social events. You do not want to attend functions. You try to find out ways and means to say no. You want to reject anything which is coming, any proposal, any invitation. You want to skip that. Depression, not exactly depression, but you do feel very low in your mind, and you see a lot of mood swings in you. So it's not depression as such, but for the time being, you feel very low. It's like that feeling of loneliness, and this loneliness you want to have. You want to be away from people, and of course, you become very impulsive. You feel as if you have no patience left for anyone, even if your own children come and speak to you for something, you just, you know, you shoo them off. So this is not a very healthy sign. Definitely not. Now, sorry. Sorry. So this is what we were seeing. Now, some more results of social fatigue. What happens is when you are suffering from social fatigue, this is what happens. You feel detached. You do not feel like mixing with people. Then you feel disabled to focus on anything particular. You want to do something, you want to watch a movie, you want to read something, but you're not able to focus on that. Your mind keeps wandering around. There could be very intense headaches or migraine attacks as well. So that is a physical manifestation. Low energy or fatigue, I've already told you, you feel so stressed, you feel drained of energy, you feel difficulty in sleeping, you become sleepless, you want to sleep, you do sleep, but still you feel sleepless. Emotional meltdown. You become very, very emotional. Small little things, small little stimuli, they sort of, they result in big showdowns with you. Irritability, being angry at almost nothing. Depression and anxiety I've already spoken about. So there could be emotional depression, and you could be anxious for things which actually do not need to be anxious about. So firstly, you have to identify what triggers of this kind of reaction from you. What happens that you start feeling socially exhausted? So again, since we are individuals and we all have a different mindset, something which is troublesome for you may not be troublesome for others, and vice versa. So it's not necessary that everybody suffers from social fatigue for one reason. There could be different reasons. So you have to sit back and understand. You have to sit back and identify situations or people maybe who make you feel exhausted and drained. There are some people who are very, very irritating and you do not want to sit with them. Like when I was in school, there were a few parents who used to really be very irritating. They would come and discuss the same problem. And the moment I would see them in camera, I would go on a round so that they do not come to my room and trouble me. Though I know at that particular point of time that was not correct. But then how long can you take the same banter again and again and again to the extent that you yourself start feeling as if there's something wrong with you? So it does happen. Of course, I was not socially exhausted, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example that the sight of a few people, it somehow irritates you a lot because they do not come with a solution. They come with the same problem again and again and again. And despite providing solution to their problem, they still refuse to believe that a solution has been given. So these people are very irritable to you, and they cause a lot of irritation. And I mean, you certainly don't feel very positive in their presence. So there could be other situations also. Maybe it could be anxiety about a dear one who's away from you, and you're not being able to, speak to them or talk to them or be in touch with them. So there could be a lot of reasons. A few of them I've given over here. You feel obligated to speak to a lot of people. I mean, your job is such your profile is such that you have to continue talking to people, and then how long do you keep talking? Sometimes you do feel drained. Another one is attending family reunions or holiday parties one after the other. In one calendar month, you have so many social engagements that how long can you keep changing, dressing up, smile, talk? So at times it does take its toll on you. Also, you because of your work, you need to socialize a lot. Maybe you're working as an HR, or probably you're in a field job. So you have to go out, you have to meet people, you have to collect data. So after a certain time, I think that boiling point comes where your body and your entire self gives up. Attending of large events also, something, there could be a reunion or there could be an official function which continues for 3 days. So at a stretch for 3 days, you are changing, going, doing your duties, meeting people, seeing to everything that, nothing goes wrong with something. So even participating in a lot of, I'll just drag this up. So, maybe group projects for a long time if you have been participating. So that also becomes a little troublesome after a certain time. Now, when you do get to know what is troubling you, then you have to set boundaries for yourself. Like even extroverts, people, there are two kinds of people we know. There are some extroverts and there are introverts also. But extroverts are those who love to socialize, who go all out to be with people, they talk a lot. But again, there's a limit to everything. So sometimes even these kinds of people, even the extroverts, they may feel tired if they have to go back to back with social events. So we have to learn to say a no. Maybe there is an invitation from a very close friend of yours or a very close acquaintance. Maybe it's an official function, but then you do not want to get harmed yourself. So you have to learn to say no, but not to everyone. Those events where you feel that you may feel drained, where you feel you may be at a loss of relaxation or your own personal comfort. So you learn to say no. And then, of course, go and enjoy where you feel you'll be able to enjoy, where the company of people who are going to be there, the attendees. If you feel that it's going to be good for you, you must go. So this is a kind of a conscious effort that you make to go to places where you feel it's going to relax you. See, when we meet people, when we have parties, when we have these functions, it's basically to relax your nerves. But if this itself causes problems, I think we need to rethink. So and then another idea is to go but come back early. There's no need to stay, after midnight. Go, put your attendance, have a good talk with the people around, and then say a firm no, I cannot stay further, and come back home. So that is another very gentle and very polite way of coming back and saying a goodbye to those people, because you have to think about yourself also. And this is definitely not being selfish. It's for your own good. It is for yourself to keep mentally and physically healthy. Now, sometimes we need to be alone. We have a very wrong you know thought about being alone, that you should not, because we are social animals, we should never be alone. But no, we do need some time, my own time. It's like my time. So if I have my time or me time, then I can sit back, I can think of things, because at times you need to think without being disturbed. So whether you are working, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a housewife, or anybody at all, so at least 30 minutes in a day, or even if you cannot take out 30 minutes, maybe a little lesser, you must have your own alone time or your me time. Because in this time, you can sit back and rethink what you've done, how have your days been in the past, what do you plan to do in future, how do you want to relax. So this time can be used to recharge and to reconnect with yourself, not with anybody else, but yourself. We never give importance to our own selves, which is not correct. So we must learn to, because if I don't love myself, I won't be able to love anyone. Because if I fall sick, my family will go, in a lot of trouble. So, for the sake of my family and for the sake of your families, you must learn to spend some time on your own and for your own benefit. So this is going to make you, this is going to prepare you for the events to come, and you'll be relaxed. Your nerves will feel a lot of relaxation, and then you can, with this renewed kind of an energy and vigor, you can happily look forward to the events in future. I've already mentioned, we have to learn to say yes to social engagements which excite us. And we need to make small changes. Like, for example, I've already mentioned, you can go but come back early, or you go a little late and stay on later. So, those little changes which are going to be beneficial to you, something which is going to take away that burden. I mean, when we go and enjoy, when we go out to meet people, when we socialize, the basic purpose is to relax. So we have to do something to get the optimum out of these meetings, even if means making a few changes, not staying all the time, either go early or go late, and you manage your own time yourself. So the bottom line is do it for yourself. You have to feel happy about it. You have to smile. Establish healthy boundaries. That is, the people whom you do not want to meet, you must somehow create a boundary between them and yourself. How you do it, that is what you have to think. But try, if you feel that there's a particular function or a gathering where 2 3 people who are very irritating are going to come, then somehow you coordinate in such a way, or you what do we say? I'm forgetting that particular word. So you have to, think of ways in which you can avoid them, be there and yet be able to avoid them. Then we have to, of course, seek support from our friends and family. Like I said, if you have to go to a party and you know that there would be people who are irritating. So when that particular somebody approaches you, you give a wink to your friend who will come to you and take your side on some pretext. So that way your friends and family can be of help. And if still you feel that things are going beyond your control, you're not able to control them, then you definitely you have to see a professional counselor. That is of utmost importance. Some more ways to keep social fatigue at bay. You have to practice self-care. I said earlier also, if you look after yourself and your own wellness, it's not being selfish at all. If I'm not there, if I do not look after myself, how will I look after my family? So, for the sake of my family, I have to practice self care. And this is applicable to everybody because for everyone, there is a family and we are interdependent. You can't say that the husband is not important, or the wife is not important, or the children are not important, or the grandparents are not important. Everyone has their important role to play. So each one of us, in order to look after other family members, we have to ensure self-care as well. Use positive affirmations. Now, this is, like making a promise to myself that, okay, I'm going to do this today, and or I can do it. The best mantra, I should say, when I was very young, I was just about 6 or 7 years old, I read a storybook which had a story, I can do it. And I've always kept that mantra in my mind. The moment I feel a little jittery, the moment I feel I won't be able to do this, I remember that fairy, that small little fairy, who always said, you can do it. So I say, I can do it. And so can you. So these positive affirmations that I will do this today. And the moment you make up your mind, you will see it works miracles. Something very small. You tell yourself when you're going to sleep, wake me up at 5 o'clock. And it's unbelievable, but you'll be up at 5. You look at the watch or your clock or whatever, your mobile, you'll see it's exactly 5 o'clock. So our subconscious works. When we tell something to ourselves, it does work. So these positive affirmations are very important. If you tell yourself you can do it, you will be able to. And of course, we are also glued to our electronic devices. Please, for God's sake, put them down because it's going to affect not just your eyes, but your physical and mental well being as well. I myself am addicted. I'm trying to leave this habit. I'm trying to put away, but then to talk to you, I have to sit in front of my laptop and record this. But then after this, I think I need 2, 3 hours of break, and then I'll make a nice hot cup of tea and enjoy with my mom. So we have to say goodbye to electronics for some time, as much as possible. Of course, if you're working on it, I am not. So I can easily put it away. But those of us who have to continuously keep making presentations, who are into all this, I mean, they cannot. But there should be a certain time where you must keep away from these electronic devices. And as mentioned earlier, you have to identify those things which trigger this kind of fatigue into you or in the environment. So the moment we are able to identify, the moment we are able to know the root cause of our problem, then definitely the solution will become a whole lot easier. Now, how to recover from social exhaustion? There are so many ways and means. Now, I feel that being in a place which is very quiet is going to help. But then, as the net says, as Google says, if you can begin to recover from your burnout by getting some alone time. Like I said, go on a vacation, go to a place not which is not something like Goa, which is bubbling with activity. Go to some quiet places, a quiet beach, a quiet hillside, where there are not too many tourists. So go and spend 2, 3 days also. You will see it's going to help you out a lot. Firstly, you will be breathing fresh air in the mountains or maybe even on the seaside. So anything which excites you, anything where you feel yourself, any place which makes you feel comfortable, go there. Stay alone. Take just one partner. If you're married, your husband or wife, your spouse, you want to take your children, take them, but tell them they can enjoy, but you want to sit back in the hotel room and maybe watch TV or whatever. What I'm trying to imply is be alone for some time. And as I said, if I'm looking after myself, I'm not at all selfish because my family depends upon me. So I have to be good. I am that axis on which this earth is rotating. So if I'm okay, the earth will be fine. So for the sake of my family, I have to look after my well-being, and this is definitely not being selfish. So also you have to be self-aware. You have to listen to the small little indications which your body tends to give you. Sometimes you may have pains in a certain place. Sometimes you feel exhausted. You may feel nausea. You may feel anxious. So these are all small little kinds of, ways and means in which your body tells you that please, madam or sir, put an end to what you're doing. You need to relax. So we must listen to that inner voice. We all have an inner voice. We must listen to it. Do not ignore it. Do not avoid it. For your interest, for the interest of your family. So now finally on social fatigue, if you feel that you are experiencing social fatigue, a good first step is to reach out to a therapist, a counselor, or a mental health professional. It does definitely not mean that we are mental cases. It's just that a lot of work, a lot of pressure is playing upon us, and it's just an embodiment or manifestation of fatigue in our minds. So working with someone at individual counseling can help you learn important coping skills, value and enjoy me time, avoid exhaustion in the future. So these are three things which we must remember. You learn how to cope. I mean, try to work out some kind of strategy where you do the work, but you do not get fatigued. Secondly, try to value and enjoy the me time, your alone time, and avoid exhaustion. Do the work, but the moment you start feeling tired, leave it for it. Take small breaks. So it's we who have to work out our own strategies, how we get to do something. Again, getting the support of a therapist could help you avoid high functioning depression. Before things get out of your hand, before you have to consult somebody professionally, it's better that you look after yourself. But if it does sort of, get beyond your control, you must not delay seeing a professional counselor. So, because otherwise there are going to be even more severe and serious repercussions. So, consider starting a search for a mental health professional or in an online therapist directory before. But hopefully, we should not reach on that kind of verge. But if you think you are progressing towards that particular point, so you must, in advance search for somebody who's going to be a good professional help to you. Additional resources, talk therapy, friends. Like there are a lot of medicines which come to us for free. And I guess the best one are your friends. If you talk to them, even if not personally, even if you have a phone call, if you can have a video call, I think there's nothing better than that. Virtual psychiatry, I mean, you don't necessarily have to see a psychiatrist. Your friends, your family, anybody whom you can trust, you can call them, you can talk to them. So this way also you'll be able to, when you share your, feelings, your fears, things which are bothering you, when you share them with your dear ones and your near ones, I think it has a marvelous effect on your psyche. And also, a few more things which we need to learn are mindfulness, meditation, and relaxation techniques. Breathing exercises, just sitting quietly, close your eyes, listen to a few mantras, anything which you believe in, whether it could be, it could be Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, it could be anyone. So, whoever you feel you can trust, you listen to their recordings or just listen simply to soothing music, something that you enjoy. Meditate, just sit back, close your eyes, sit in that Padma position. I really don't know what it is called. So sit in that position, any position which you feel is going to relax you, and then you relax yourself. Please give a little rest to your frayed nerves, which is very, very important. So in this way, I think we can all say goodbye to social fatigue. Um, I hope my presentation was a little beneficial to all of us. And hopefully, we are all going to stay fit and fine and keep meeting in near future. So thank you, viewers, again for your support. Thanks for liking. Please do send your comments on this. This is definitely not what I usually do. But since I heard of this term, I thought, oh, speaking to you on this particular topic. So thank you so much. All the best. Have a wonderful day today, tomorrow, and all the days to come. So I'll stop my share here. And I sincerely hope that I was able to do something fruitful today. So thank you and see you soon once again. Bye bye.